Lust, and Loss, a relationship series. I am Lady Wake, your trauma transformation specialist and coach. We are here talking about relationships for the entire holiday season. We started in December. Did we start Thanksgiving? We started Thanksgiving, I think. And we're going all the way through February, through Valentine's Day, because not really ironically, but relationships present as the biggest part of who we are as people. And so, we've spent a lot of time talking about romantic relationships in the past months, but now I want to pivot and make sure that we do touch on the parent-child relationships. We talked about it a little bit in talking about the romantic relationships because so many of us have experiences in our childhood that shape well, all of us have experiences in our childhood that shape who we are in adulthood. And so a lot of that does play out in our relationships. But what about the parent-child relationship as its own entity? How do we raise our children? And this, I know this is a sensitive topic for many people. You start talking about people's parenting and their children and how they raise children, and people get really upset. So let's have this be an open dialogue. There are opinions that are, of course, welcomed, and there's some that you won't like, and that's okay because all are welcome in this space. We're here to have this conversation and just open up a dialogue, okay? So if you've been here at all, you know me. Let's begin by just talking about, why we become parents. People have different reasons, of course, for becoming parents, but the thing that really compels me to relax and let go and really follow my intuition regardless of what society says. The thing that compels me is the knowledge that children choose their parents. Children, babies, these spirits that live in these little tiny people, they choose their parents before they come down here to earth. And so that's not everybody's belief, but I fully believe that. And since I do, I know that also they have their own journeys to take, right? So everybody has their own journey. So if my child came into this world through me, knowing my life, knowing what their life would be like, knowing the hurdles they'll have to, overcome, the lessons that they'll learn, the ideas, the experiences that they'll have, it just helps me to navigate things when they go wrong, right? So when something's not happening the way I really want it to happen, or it looks like my child is a different person than I would expect them to be, it really helps to know that they have their own journey. They're going to have their own life experience regardless of what I do. And all of this was their choice. All of this was known beforehand, and it is their choice for whatever their purposes are. So that's how I get through. Everybody has their thing, but that's how I really am able to relax in the relationships with my children, and of course everybody else, because it's never just you and your children. There's an entire family or two or three or several involved, depending on your family dynamic. So it takes a lot of work sometimes. Yo, what up? Welcome back. Good to see you live feed. We are talking about the parent-child relationship today. And so I was just sharing how I view just having children, and that they have their own experiences to have, their own journey to take. And so that helps me with my anxiety that I'm sure every parent has. Now, there is nothing easy about being a parent, but I fully believe, like 150%, know that it does not have to be as stressful as it is for most people, especially moms. Like, I can only speak for moms because that's what I am. And what I do know is that most moms think that it's normal to feel stressed and overwhelmed overwhelmed just because they're a mom and there's so much to do. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to keep up with. And there's so much going on in terms of taking care of your children, your spouse, yourself. Yeah, right, right. You have to do all of that. And then there's the physical doing stuff, but there's also the mental, emotional that it takes on you, toll that it takes on you. And so it's a lot, hands down. It's a lot. And I'm never arguing about it being a lot, but I will argue that it requires a high level of stress and overwhelm. It absolutely does not. And a part of that is finding your level of peace. And so that's why I just shared mine. Knowing that they have their own journey to take gives me an enormous amount of peace. And so when things don't go my way, it's kind of like, all right, kid. So that's what I want to talk about. What up? What up? Welcome back. So, what is it all for? Like, why do we have these little people to raise? Because sometimes I swear it feels like it's the other way around. Like they're raising the parents, and I think it's a little of both. And I fight. I don't fight. I kind of go back and forth with the idea of creating a person by raising them versus just allowing them to be who they are. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to have societal norms and the pressure of that, in your face all day, every day and night. And this little person who is a person, their own little person, and to balance, you raising them and creating this person and making sure they are abiding by society's standards, all these things we agree on, following the rules, and of course balancing that and allowing them to be who they are. Yeah, Felicia, yes, they teach us a lot, especially if you're listening. I love that you said that, especially if you're listening, because so many of us don't listen to our kids. That was one of the first things that irked me that I want to talk about tonight. The whole idea of because I said so. I don't know how many of y'all was raised like that, but I was half the time, not always, because a lot of times my mom did allow me to voice my opinion, but um, half the time from her, but mostly from other people like grandparents, aunts, uncles, it was because I said so, because I said so. And most of my friends' moms, because I said so. That was the foundational kind of relationship with adults and children. It was the idea that children are to be seen and not heard, like they used to say about women. I'm just saying. But that was the real idea. It was you stay in a child's place. That was something I heard a lot. You said it's, and I think I heard it a lot because I had a lot of mouth. Because sometimes my mom would allow me to express myself. And so I made, what I thought were good arguments for what I wanted. And most adults hated that. Like they hated that shit. What is wrong with this kid? Why does she talk so goddamn much? Who told you your opinion was important? That's the kind of feedback I got. So, and I think most people in my generations and probably older, got that type of feedback growing up. Your opinion doesn't matter. Your ideas don't matter. You do what I say because I said it, or you do what I say because I'm the adult. I know what's best because I'm the adult. It was the worst, the most unsatisfying answer ever, right? And so it makes you continue to ask the same questions, even though half the time you don't want to say that out loud because then you might get popped in the face. I mean, we ain't gonna pretend we ain't get hit. I'm just saying. It's rough out here sometimes. So this is a new well, no, I can't say, like, I want to say this is a new world, like it's a new generation, and we're different, but that's not really the truth, because I know plenty of people who treat their kids like that still, and they think that is the right thing to do. And so I'm not judging them for doing what they think is best, because like I said, parenting is hard and you get through it the best way you can. I just know, and if you read any book or article by a child expert, we know that ignoring children, silencing your child, like not allowing them to express themselves or not listening to them, not taking their feelings into account, we know that that creates trauma for children, and they grow up with all kind of issues. And so because we know that, I think it is our responsibility now to do better. And you're right, Fee. That's all they know. That is all that some people know. And that's really difficult too, because if it's all you know, you don't think outside of that box. You don't know to think outside of that box. You don't even think about it. It's kind of like, this is what we do. And so that's why it's so important not to judge, really, because you know what you know. We all know what we know, and we don't know what we don't know, right? So since we have this platform and different knowledge, the opportunity to show people a different way, that's what I'm here for. So hopefully y'all here with me. If you say breaking cycles aren't easy for most people, that's so real. It's a very difficult thing to do, and it is almost impossible to break cycles, generational cycles, without being aware of the cycles. And most people are not aware of their cycles. And so they perpetuate them over and over again, generation after generation. We have the same issues. And people, I don't know about y'all, but people that I know used to call them generational curses. Probably depending on where you come from, or, if you're religious, like if you're in a church, especially a Black church, generational curses was a thing, like a very popular thing. And now, I say like breaking generational cycles because everybody understands that, but a cycle is a cycle. And you can't break a cycle if you don't know you have it. What's up, Michelle? You definitely can't, D. You can't break a cycle if you don't know you have it. So awareness is number one. Boom. This is why we're here. Awareness is the beginning point. It is the foundation of a lot of this healing that we need to do so that we can be better for our children. And if you know Lady Wake at all, it is about the children, hands down, all day, every day. You being a better you, me being a better me being a fully healed me, not a surface level healed, like, oh, I can look okay in public, but a deep foundational healed me, healed inner child, healed adult lady, healed in every way possible. That me, that version of me, is the person who will provide for my children and allow them to grow up without all the baggage. She'll say awareness is definitely key. The other issues is many folks don't attribute certain habits to generational cycles. Hey, Ashley. Hey, y'all. That is such a great point. Such a great point. Many people don't attribute certain habits to generational cycles. Again, why we are pulling it out and creating some awareness, because people think, the best I can put it, people think cycles are okay, basically. So they'll say something like, oh, diabetes runs in my family, or, high blood pressure runs in my family. Bad skin run in my family, thick hair runs in my family. And it's just normal. If it runs in your family, especially if a doctor tells you, that something is generational, it just runs in your family, you're bound to have it, you're bound to get it. Like, it's normal, so it's no big deal. So we normalize pain and trauma because it runs in our family. Like, no big deal. It runs in our family. And we have to stop normalizing this mess. It's not working for us. It never has worked for us. And as the world changes, we have to change, and we have to create another way for our children. It definitely doesn't have to, Shelly. It doesn't have to run in your family. Like, I debunked that myth. I have debunked that myth in many ways over the past 10 years, just working in the medical field, and people saying this runs in your family. And I sneak in like, all you got to do is take this herb and that one and cut that mess out, go for a walk 3 times. Like, It's not that serious for many things, but people don't believe it. They have no evidence yet. So, and they have no awareness yet. So we got to start at the bottom. Say, I got beat down and I'm okay. Are you though? That is real. That is real. I don't know how many of y'all got beat, but you know, especially who was I talking to? Oh man, I was talking to somebody recently, and I hope I'm not overstepping any bounds, but they were sharing how they would get beat for something that their sibling would do. And it was one of those things like if one of you do wrong, all of you get your butt beat. I don't know how many of y'all had those experiences, but I had that experience. And that's the worst. That is the absolute worst. So it's like, I don't care if you do everything you're supposed to do. If your sister didn't do it, you getting your butt beat too. Everybody getting a whooping. That's traumatizing as hell because you're telling me that I can do everything right, yet I have to be responsible for another whole person who has decided on their own that they're not going to do what they're supposed to do. I have to be responsible for them. I get beat down for them. I don't know. Are you okay though? I love the way you put that. Are you? And they use that as an excuse to beat their own kids. That's what happens. That's what happens. Michelle got beat downs. Oh, got trauma from those beat downs. I believe you. I got trauma from the beat downs that I got because of my siblings. Because I was a good kid. And I was like, it ain't my fault. I did my chores. I did. I told them to bring their ass in the house. They ain't listen to me. I ain't they mama. It's rough. Rough. Did you put her whole name in there? She can't relate. Okay, so I believe in like creating space for children to become whoever they're going to become, right? But that's not always easy to do. It's really not always easy to do. And we have to balance what society says is appropriate and make sure our children are protected from society's rules. Because if they get in trouble, that can be something as simple as, messing up in school, not graduating to completely getting killed in the way our society works. So it's a tough balance. It is so hard sometimes. It's a really tough balance, but I feel like there's one thing, it's not the only thing, but there's one major thing that really helps with that balance. I hope I'm not breaking up. I feel like my bars are hella low tonight and I don't know why. But y'all let me know if I freeze on you. So this whole creating mini me idea, like everybody wants to have a kid that is a mini me. And a mini me is kind of cute in some ways, but for most people, oh, thanks, V. Okay, I appreciate you letting me know. Yes, got in there without suppressing who they are as people. So that's what I'm getting at. So a lot of times parents want to create a mini me, a mini version of themselves. And so that child's identity is rooted, like connected to the parent's identity. And that to me is jacked up. Because what that means for the kid is you are not relevant or right or valid unless you behave how I think you should behave, decisions that I would make for you, say the things and feel the things and have the same ideals as I have as your parent. That is what validates you as a person. And that's what validates that parent. I think that's how so many people get stuck, especially women, especially moms, really get stuck with their children early on because they make their children a literal extension of themselves, of their worth, not of themselves. They are a literal extension of your biology, but a literal extension of their worth. If my child is not, for example, progressing on this particular track, if they're not doing well in school, if they're not reading by this age, if they don't look a certain way, if they don't dress a certain way, if their hair is in a certain way. That is a direct extension of the parent's identity and worth. And I think that really messes our kids up. We think we're protecting them, but we are basing that on our own fears, which is rooted in our own traumas. D, girl, I'm gonna have to bring you on screen one day. You be on here. Sorry, y'all, Dr. Leo not here today, but I think he would echo like that is really the root of it. We're basing how we treat them and what we expect from our children on our own fears rooted in our own trauma. That is like really well stated. Really well stated. And I think that is a problem for most parents. We're really treating our children like extensions of us, but not our healed selves, our selves that are basically still children because we have these fears from our own trauma. We have our own issues from childhood, and we're projecting them on our kids and making them pay for it. And it's not fair. Thank you. You like my hair. Thank you, girl. I'm happy to have it back. And like, look, being a parent is hard. I had a baby and my hair fell out, yo. It fell out. So I have to take care of this little person every day, balance keeping her alive and happy and keeping myself alive and happy, physically, nursing, not sleeping, and doing all the other things a new mom does. And something as important to me as my hair falls out. Come on, that is rude. Why? Why is it so hard? But it grew back. It grew back, y'all. So I'm very happy to have hair today. I'm just saying. It's rough out here sometimes. So, sidebar. I'm back. So, we think we're protecting our kids, yet showing them how to be us, basically. You get to be me. You're welcome. That's how we treat our kids sometimes. Like, you get to be the me that I've always wanted to be. I remember being a child and somebody treat me like that. Like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to go to this college. I wanted to work at this place. This is the person I wanted to be. And so this is the person you're going to be because that's going to make you awesome. And I am awesome, but it sucked that they pushed that on me because it wasn't my dream. It was her dream. For real. You keep the tiny human alive. It is an everyday goal, right? Keep the tiny humans alive. Everyday goal. It's rough out here. What? Jaya, I can't. What? Who let you on here? Who let you on here? That is a bruise. That's a bruise. Shut up. You see all this? You see this? Y'all see this mess in the chat? Whenever Jaya hops on, here we go. So listen, since you here, I want to know about these double standards because look, luckily I have girls and I am a girl. And so I think there is a level of easiness in that. Like I am dedicated to all things girls. I work with girls, women primarily, and I really love having girls. And I feel like it's easy because I am a girl. But of course you can't focus all over the place. But I have issues with double standards in children. There are already enough double standards with adults in the world. But kids, I know you've met that dude who is mama's boy. And then you've met the girl who is a daddy's girl. But it's like, to me, mama's boys be going too far. And daddy's girl, sometimes they go too far too. Sometimes it's like, no, you'll never be able to appreciate anything because, your dad spoiled you to death and you don't know what real life looks like. But mostly it's just like a regular girl in love with her dad regularly and dudes who will not let go. And because of their nature, like their masculine nature, it makes them impossible to lead or to create a family that is balanced. I don't know. What's y'all take on that? Because I be irritated out here. What? Listen, mate, where you even come from? Mm-mm. You can't stand the mama's boys and daddy's girls too. For real. I think they both set their children up for failure, but just in different ways. Just in different ways. So daddy's girls definitely get set up for failure because they think there is some perfect man out there who is there is a perfect man for them, but an actual perfect person, they have their dad on a pedestal, and they think there is a person who is perfect and will be just like their dad. The only problem is they only know the good things about their dad. They don't know all of his f ups. They don't know when he's been idiot 100,000 times. They just know the good stuff. Yes. Look, we are talking about parent-child relationships today. You see they trying to come at me in the comments talking about listen. But the other way around, you'll have the dude who's a mama's boy and a man loving his mom is completely wonderful. But a man who will not, a dude who will not move into manhood because he is completely attached to his mom is a problem. How you gonna raise a family? How you gonna raise children when you still a child yourself? I don't know. And then he expect his woman to do all the things his mom used to do for him when he was a child. Look, they are distracted. Look at these people. Where is my wine? Where is my wine? Wait a minute. Y'all stupid. That is the dad won't be shit in real life. But they don't know that. They just know the good stuff. That's all they know. I know you love me. Girl, that's so real. They want to treat everybody else's daughter like crap, but they want their daughter to be treated. That's real. But the mama boys are the same way. And then another reason I work with women on healing our traumas is because that mama boy has a mom who has so much trauma that she cannot allow her child, her male child, to become a man. It's like she's afraid. She keeps him in this child position so that she has something to do, somebody to lean on, somebody to take care of instead of taking care of herself. Whatever her reason is, there are a lot of reasons that moms do stuff like that. Fear is the main one, but it's all rooted in trauma and it's ruining our children. Then they grow up and become adults and they have whack ass relationships that don't last, painful connections, and then have kids, of course, and raise them to be the same. The same. Not raising a grown ass man. Jody. I feel you. I feel you. What? A guy told me before that he's never met a woman that can compare to his woman. You mean his mom that compared and it completely turned me off. Of course. Why are you comparing? Gross. Gross. The mom is totally at fault for coddling and harboring his ass. Well, it's real. It's real. She is at fault. But if you look back, it's like she has some trauma that she's dealing with too. I must have missed something back here. Let me scroll up. Unpopular opinion. Show your kids the worst about yourself too. It will teach them more than you. I don't think that opinion is so unpopular for real because I think kids deserve to know the truth and it helps them to make informed decisions. Like for reals. My mom told me stuff, like real life stuff when I was a child. And some of it I saw anyway. So I was like, what is this? And she was like, well, honestly, this is what it is. And it helped my life. It really helps because kids get caught up in all kind of crap when you lie to them. Shit, so unfortunate, poor boundaries, superficial connections. That's real. That's real for men and women who grow up like that. That is so real. So real. And so then the double standard is stands because when you're younger, I find that parents will give their female child, the girl, tight boundaries in comparison to the boy. Like the boy gets to do all kind of stuff that they'll never let the girl do because he's a boy, just because he's a boy. And that is fundamentally wrong and problematic to me because I am, again, for all things woman, lady, girl, whatever. What do you mean? But you were mature though, out the womb. Shut up. I was mature out the womb. Man, I'm just saying, it's okay. It's okay. That's what I'm here for. But listen, hella responsibility, right? Michelle, hella responsibility for the girl and little to none for the boy. And then women grow up and they do everything, everything. And dudes get by doing little to nothing in relationships, in school, at work, as parents. I don't care where you look, women are doing the bulk of the work. Women are doing all the work it takes to heal, to look at real emotions, to show their children something better, to be a present person, parent, partner. And men, in comparison, are doing very, very little. Very, very little. Really? Y'all talking about me being old? It's true. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying. It's real life. And that bothers me so much because it really does a disservice to both our girls and boys. Because girls grow up thinking that everything has to land on their shoulders. They're responsible for making the fucking world go round. And that sucks. That sucks. It's not true. And it gives us no time to figure out who we really are, what we really want, to create healthy boundaries. What? The little boys grow up and be big boys still doing nothing. Nothing. You say, girl, we set the bar so low for these boys. Yeah, it's sad. And we see it in our men. We see it in our men. We see it in the fathers. They do little to nothing. Just my brother cooked and cleaned just like us, though, and so did my daddy. That's what's up. That's how it should be, in my opinion. I think everybody should have a fair share of responsibility because that's what life should really be. You're talking about partnerships. You grow up and they say, oh, marriage is a partnership. You have to be all in this together and blah, 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 blah. And then you get in that bullshit and realize, wait a minute. What does partner mean again? Like, if it's just two of us, shouldn't it be like equal or no? 80-20 is okay. That's okay. And if you're a woman, they like, yeah, that's fine. You good. You doing what women do. Jakai washes clothes at 12. Good. He should be able to wash his clothes. He's 12. He should be able to make himself some food too. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. He was doing all that. And even though my brother learned all the things I learned, like he knew how to do laundry and clean and cook and all these things, he didn't do it as nearly as often as I did it. He was in the streets. He was like outside playing with his friends, and I was cooking dinner for the whole goddamn family. Like, wait a minute, what is this? And didn't get in trouble for. Wash dishes, bought a toaster for Christmas. You bought a toaster for Christmas. That is whack, Jaya. That is a whack Christmas gift. Why you gonna buy the kid a toaster? You're right. Marriage is not a partnership if you're following stereotypical gender roles. That is so real. Stereotypical gender roles will leave you exhausted, stressed out, overwhelmed, as most women are. And there's a lot of chaos in the world in terms of kind of breaking out of social norms and stereotypes. And sometimes it's a bit much, it's overwhelming, but I think in the long run, it's going to be really good for the world. I think we are really going to shake off some of this crap all that we've been carrying for so many centuries and balance more. That's a good question, Michelle. What's the definition of partnership? Is not universal. It is absolutely not universal. And I think every couple will have their own definition of partnership and they get to create their roles in whatever way they want. I'm just talking about the general consensus of the world in terms of partnership. And what that is our good old 50s idea of women are supposed to do this and men are supposed to do that. The problem is, see, okay, here's the real problem. The world is changing in terms of what women are supposed to do and what men are supposed to do, societal norms. Societal norms are changing, hands down. They are. I think the real problem, though, is people's minds are very, very slow in changing. So there will be a woman who will say, like back in the day, I'm a 90s woman. I ain't got to do all this. I ain't got to cook and clean all day and just stay up, home and have kids. And nowadays, most women are making a lot of money, taking care of their families. But so they broke out of a lot of those society norms. But the men and women mentally still had this idea that it is the woman's job to do certain things. So the woman doesn't have to stay home and do everything, take care of the kids, cook and clean and all that anymore. However, she will go to work, pay the mortgage, and still bring her ass home, take care of the kids, cook all the meals, clean the house, do all the laundry. And the dude does, I don't know, maybe he helps sometimes. He goes to work too, usually. He sits and receives, his meals, his clean clothes. And he expects sex too. Like, why you too tired all the time? Why you always got a headache? It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm just speaking in general. Of course, there are people who do it differently. And I think those are the relationships that are working out. Those are relationships that are working out. The people who do it differently. Speaking in the 50s. Yeah. Yeah. What you say, if you want to do the garden, I'll change the brakes. Oh, you know how to change brakes for feet? You live far. Like, I love to see a woman under the hood. I'm just saying. You say in the 50s, you wouldn't have to work to support half the bills. Nope. You would not. It would not be your job. It would be the man's job to bring home the money. I was about to say the bacon, but I don't eat bacon no more. Yes. It depends for me, Jay. I don't want my man polishing my nails and shit. That's not sexy to me. I love it when he kicks stuff. When he kicks, he can iron his ass off. See, that's hilarious that you say that, but I wouldn't mind if my man polished my nails. I wouldn't mind at all. Like, thank you. I would sit and happily get that pedicure, wash, scrub, rub these feet, and polish the nails, sir. Thank you very much. Wait a minute. What just happened? What just happened in the chat? Under the hood. Wait, what hood? What what are we talking about here? I don't let me OMG. I'm not sure if that's an offer or a challenge. I'm tempted though. I need some more wine because I'm tempted to make it a challenge. I'm just saying. It's great that you know how to change brakes though. Like, that's really cool. Really, really cool. I wish I did. Maybe I'll learn one day because that's super cool. No, you ain't sorry. It's all right. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. No, I hear you. You love your foot massage, but you just don't want to paint your toenails. I feel you. It's all good. It's all good. Look at Mason. Put your bed in there, change brakes, and do other stuff on the car, and can change a tire. Boo boo. I can halfway change a tire. No, I can change a tire. I've changed a tire before, but I'm best at calling AAA. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really good at calling AAA. See, I agree. This is the fun ish right here. OMG. I love it, y'all. Thank y'all for being here and really helping me to speak out on what we are doing as parents with our children, even if you're not a direct parent. Yeah, you don't have to be biological, but everybody is connected to somebody, to a child in some way, and we're all responsible for showing them the way. I really believe that fully in my heart. Every person is responsible. So if you're a stranger and you see a child out acting a mess, going ham or maybe in harm's way, to me, it is your responsibility as an adult to help that child out, to, tell them to pipe down, to help save their ass if they about to get in trouble. Like that's the type of person I am, and I think that all people should be for children. For children. They change the tires. The skill you need to be 100% able to do it. Okay, you're not lying. Okay, that is the truth. You should just, it's like you can or you can't type of deal. That's true. um they shoot real shots. It's okay. I'm here for it. The thing is, I had to remember if I actually fully changed the tire that day or if I only took it off, because oh, you mean literally shooting? What? Oh, no, don't worry. Some people got shots for everybody. Don't even worry about it. It's enough. So let me see, because we're gonna have to come back next week and talk about this some more. Because I need to go to bed, y'all. I'm having fun with y'all, but I do need to go to bed before my 7-month-old wake me up at 1 a.m. and want to eat. I need to get a little snooze in, but I do want to talk about our children in terms of making decisions next week. Long term decision making versus immediate satisfaction. Because even adults have these issues where we don't know how to say no. We don't know how to wait on anything. We don't know how to, work for stuff, be patient out here, make decisions that impact our lives in the long run. Like we all having these issues. And I think because adults are having them so huge such a huge way, it's really affecting our kids and their immediate satisfaction requirements, demands. Like they tripping out here on many levels. So some people need to put the gun away. I'm just saying. In real life, shooting a sister up today. It's okay. I welcome it. Please, you all share this with somebody. And come back next week. Next Tuesday at 9 p.m. We'll be right back here having more of this conversation. And, we're talking about parent-child relationships. So I need y'all here to help me through this. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So come give your input. Let us know what's going on, what you think, and how we can maybe, increase our awareness and create a better situation for our kids. Look at y'all. Ladies, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Come back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, y'all, I'm about to say keep shooting. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're not ready? What? You're not ready? Then tell me, you know what? I got water. I'm going to stay here then. I got water. Then let's talk about it now. because I don't know about y'all, but I have a child who know how to work electronics better than I do. Quite honestly, some stuff she be getting it in, and I be like, I don't even know. I don't even know how this work. She be playing games. I don't know how them joints work. I be trying to learn how they work, what to do with them. Like before I hand it off to her and walk away. And even her little friends, like that's all they want to do. Nothing else. Don't want to work for nothing. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. So tell me what to do about these children and they need for immediate satisfaction. I look like Lily today. I think I look like Lily every day that she looks like me. I'm just saying. Because she does. So what do y'all do? Because you got older kids than I do. Jia, Fee, your child about the same age. What do y'all do? Mason, you to raise all kind of kids. Ashley, Michelle, y'all raise kids too. You say you talked all the time how they can do so much with them, but still not know how to use it for real-ish. See. Oh, I see you. I see you. You can create a TikTok but don't know how to Google an answer. I see you. Oh yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. And you're right, I better get on before she use my look. She be doing all kind of crap and I'll be like, look, luckily she don't read that well yet. And I'm like, first of all, if you can't read it, you can't play it. Because what I'm not gonna do is sit here and have you run back and forth for me to read every part of the game. That's not gonna work. You need to learn how to read better, and then you can play that game. So that helps a little bit because I can shut her down with that, the reading part. But sometimes I just be like, I don't understand. What? Do something else. Like what's wrong with slowing it down? Like they know how to play but don't know how to do research. Won't read a book. A real book? She be tripping. What do you mean? Why? I don't The question was about children and their immediate satisfaction toys, namely the games, the computers, the tablets and iPads and such, and how they know how to use it better than adults half the time. They know how to play all the games and do everything that is fun for them, but they don't know how to, as Michelle put it, Google an answer. Don't know how to do their work. They're not willing to read a book. Like, I don't know what to do about that. It's rough out here. And I don't want to deter because it's like, well, this is her generation. So just like my generation had our stuff and, the ones after her generation, this is their technology is their thing. So I don't want to shut her down. Like, no, you can't use technology. But again, I always go back to, honey, if you can't read, you got a bigger problem than this game right now. Like you need to practice more of this is playing. What? She might turn the audio reader on and wait till she starts bossing Siri. She already bossed. Well, I don't have an iPhone, so I don't. But she bought Siri on my computer and on her tablet though. You showed your son what a computer is really used for, like how to research. That makes sense. You are the research queen. Let me go back. Missing y'all. Do your Googles. Oh, you got to limit electronics every time someone sees Cow with a book. They seem so amazed. See, that's what I'm talking about. Why is it so hard for you to read an actual book? And I make my child sign in and out like certain chores done, like did you do this? Did you do that? Did you clean your room? Did you brush your teeth? Because that's a whole negotiation now to use it. But it's still so much easier than practicing, not practicing, just doing homework, practicing reading, like a real book. She'll listen to an audiobook. She'll listen to me read a book, but practice, no. Mm-mm. Be smart with it. So limits is how you do it, huh? Jaya, you just limit it. How you get them to read an actual book? The ones I had would do all the work, then do what they do. See, that's completely acceptable, Mason. Like, but see, they're older. Maybe because I feel like it's a generational thing. I feel like there's something I'm missing here. She got to have both. I'm fine with the tape. Be smart. Yeah, because when the electronic is not working or unavailable, you can't depend on that. That is real. That is real. Lily may actually change up. I hope she does, when because I mean, she's only in kindergarten, but hopefully, when she gets better at reading, she will actually enjoy reading the book. She does like it when I read to her. But she doesn't want that all day. She's like, no, that's only a bedtime thing. That's not that's not something we do during the day, mom. It's boring, mom. It's boring. That's what I get. That's what I get. And I'm all about delaying gratification. Like sometimes you just have to be bored, but kids are always bored, they think. I don't think they are, but they think they're always bored. And I'm just thinking, man, when I was a kid, we used to find ways to play and have fun. Like it was hard to get bored for real. I don't know. The pandemic has made it harder. See, my kids are still little, so I might be completely wrong about this theory, but I think activities like Legos, the big sets that take hours, puzzles, learning the skill, this helps teach them patience and delayed gratification. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. That's kind of stuff we used to do in our life. Legos, puzzles, learning the skill, I think is huge, and that's going to be a game changer for me and my little people. The big girl baby is pulling teeth to get her to do puzzles too. She has a bunch of them. It's pulling teeth, man. Oh, see, you say change that narrative. Is that the narrative about? Okay, I think y'all have talking about something else. Reading. Okay, yeah, because reading is absolutely fundamental. The pandemic has made it harder because you have to juggle 100,000 things. You got to be at work and or school. If you're doing that, your children have to be in school, and if they're small, that means you have to be in school too. Even if they're teenagers, sometimes they need your help, so you have to be there, present, figuring that out, helping them to figure that out. um, Man, start teaching her chess. That's an interesting idea. Hmm, very interesting idea. Yeah. Oh, you mean change the narrative reading during the daytime? Yeah, you're right. And you know what happens is mommy is doing 100,000 things. And so if she's not into it, I'm like, whatever. I don't have time for this. Fight. Fight. I don't have time for this fight, kid. You sit there quietly while I read to the baby or before the baby. I just read by myself because I would create blocks of time. Like, this is 30 minutes reading time. Like, you don't have to do it since I can't make you. Like, I can't force her. So, okay. And I don't want to force her, but you get to sit there quiet and be bored. That's what we do. So you know, maybe it's time for a different tactic because that's not working. It's really not. So she'd be like, okay. She'd be chilling. It's not working. Teaching her to play chess is interesting, though. That is interesting. She might enjoy that. Oh, yeah, Connect Four and stuff. Go for she. We play those kind of games, but even if it's like checkers, because it's something that she has to really pay attention to, and it's a good start if she's not ready for chess. But I think that's a good idea though, just to create some focus, because focus is needed. It's absolutely needed around here. It is needed, and she's split in the household, so that's hard too. um because it's different when you have one focus, like one force. And so that was something I was going to talk about next week too, just in terms of parent co-parenting and having different rules in different households and different ways of doing things, because you know it's hard when you don't have the same ideals in different households. So she split between me and her dad, and his way of doing things is completely different than mine. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but it does make it hard to be consistent. It definitely makes it difficult to be consistent. Right. Because it's not being reiterated. Get off the hook in one way when she's with me, and a different way when she's with him, depending on what's important to us or what we even know. Because sometimes there's no communication. You don't know, what they're practicing in that household, and they don't know what they're practicing in your household. And so sometimes it just makes it even more difficult, the whole co-parenting thing. Not difficult enough to fight about it, just difficult to keep the kids on track. Because when she show up for school here, and I have to go and ask her teacher, so wait, but last time, where did we leave off? What is she doing now? Like, I have to kind of relearn everything to keep momentum going. So that's a challenge we aren't taking into consideration. Yes, honey. Well, I'll figure out next week now, because I really want to open the conversation to just the truth about the different ways we are experiencing life as parents now. Like, people have a lot of different kind of situations. So whether you are married or just connected, in same-sex relationships, like however you're raising kids, co-parenting, so different households, like however you're raising kids, these are just variables that make it that much more difficult to create a state stream of ideals for our kids. It's so hard to do, very challenging topic, because you can only control yourself in your house. That is the absolute truth. You can only control yourself in your house. And so it's like, it's not, like I said, it's not enough to get upset about, because you can't do anything about it. And to me, that's the worst thing ever. It's the worst to be upset about something you can't control. But it really does impact the kids. It impacts the kids in a major way. And it does a disservice to them if there is no cohesiveness. And so we'll continue this conversation next week, y'all. Y'all are so fun. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for making me laugh. Thank you for shooting your shots. Look, I enjoy it all. It's all. But come back next week to help me continue this conversation and figure some more of this stuff out. Because awareness is really the foundational move to change any of this stuff. And if we are actively trying to make our parenting, our lives easier as parents, or make it work better for us and our children, then why not spread the love? Why not show somebody else? All right. Love y'all. Thank you for being here. Until next time, peace and love.